Okay, this is going to be our warm-up for our quiz number 4, which we are taking today. So this kind of reviews some of the questions that are going to be on your quiz today. So the first one says solve by completing the square. So first we have to look for completing the square. Is there a number in front of our x squared that we need to divide out? No, not on this one. If there is, we have to make sure we divide it out of every single term. Then our next step is we have to move the 11 to both sides. So I get x squared minus 10x equals 11. I'm going to leave space next to that 10x and next to the 11 because I know my new c value has to go there. To find our new c, I'm going to do it over to the side here. I'm going to take negative 10 divided by 2, and I'm going to square it. So I get negative 5 squared, which equals 25. So that means I'm going to add 25 to both sides. From this, I get x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 36, which is 11 plus 25. I then have to factor x squared minus 10x plus 25. So if you guys remember, whatever b divided by 2, that's going to be what's in both sets of our parentheses. So we're going to have x minus 5 squared equals 36. Remember, if you need to, from here, create your lines if you don't remember your factors. So what plus what equals negative 10, and what times what equals a positive 25. And this would be negative 5 and negative 5. And remember, there's 2 sets of parentheses, so I can do it squared. So you can do it either way. Next step to solve, we have to square root both sides. So you get x minus 5 equals, square root of 36 is a perfect. It's a positive or negative 6, so that'll work out for us. Then, since we have a positive and negative 6, we're going to split it. If it's just a positive or negative square root or radical, we have to just simplify the radical in the last step, but we can leave it under that radical. We don't have to split it at all. Equals negative 6. Add 5. We get x equals 11. Add 5. We get x equals negative 1. So my answer is negative 1, 11. Those are my solutions. So remember, if it's under the radical and it can't simplify or it's not a perfect, you can leave it under the radical symbol. Okay, let's go down to factoring the following. We have 10x squared minus 3x. So we're just factoring, so we're pulling out our GCF. So what's a number that can we divide 10 and 30 by? That would be 10. I have 2 x's and 1 x. I can pull out 1 x. So then I think, what are my leftovers? So I'm going to be left with an x, and then I'm going to 30 divided by 10 is 6. Oh, it's 3, goodness. So those are my 2 factors. So this is my first factor, this is my second factor. Next one, I have to factor this. So I think, is there a GCF? So is there a number I can divide by 2, 11, and 5? No. Is my value 1? No. So this is where I do my slide. Multiply 2 times 5 to get 10. Then we factor. So this would be negative 10 and negative 1. And then we have to divide by the number that we swung. So the number that we swung was this 2 at the beginning. So we divide both by 2. So we get x minus 5. That simplifies. This 1/2 does not, so the 2 gets swung to the front. So we get 2x minus 1. And those are my 2 factors. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions over either of those. Let's go on to the back page, which is our word problem. So it says, Mr. Jones finished their basement. The bathroom has a width of 5x plus 1 and a length of 5x minus 1. Write an expression in standard form for the area. So I have to do my box method. $5x and a positive 1, 5x and a negative 1. And I multiply. 5x times 5x is going to give me 25x squared 1 times 5x is going to give me 5x. Negative 1 times 5x is going to give me negative 5x. Negative 1 times 1 is going to give me negative 1. Combine your diagonals. Those just happen to cancel, so I get 25x squared minus 1 is my area. It then says find the value of x if the area is 99. So I'm going to set this equation equal to 99. So I'm going to have 25x squared minus 1 equals 99. Add 1. 25x squared equals 100. Divide by 25. X squared equals 4. Square root both sides. Square root of 4 is going to be a positive or a negative 2. Remember, we only want a positive 2 since we're dealing with length and width. So I then take that 2 and I plug it in for my x on my length and for my x on my width, length and width. So I'm going to have, so it's my length. My length was 5x minus 1. Oops. So I'm going to have 5x minus 1, 5x plus 1. So I plug in 2 for my x because that's what I found. So I have 5 times 2 minus 1. So 10 minus 1, which equals 9. So my length is 9 feet. And then 5 times 2 plus 1, you get 10 plus 1, which is 11. So my width is 11 feet. And that's my answer to that problem. So make sure you show all your steps on this. Okay, if you have any other questions, let somebody know. Good luck on your quiz today.